Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to piggyback on what I talked about yesterday about being fat and strong, and I'm going to tell you why being tall, fat, and strong is extremely dangerous. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. Come on over, submit your questions. The best questions I turn into videos just like this. All right, so I made a video yesterday, and you can check it out. And it talked about the research, and I linked an article in that video about the research and the article I did about how if you're over 240, 250 pounds, you probably have a very slim, small, highly reduced chance of living past 60. Now, some guys left some comments in that video, and you can go check them out if you want to. And they were some tall guys, and they were kind of upset that I generalized. And they said, hey, what about tall guys, okay? Tall guys, you know, we're 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", whatever. Are you saying that if we're over 240, 250 pounds, that we have a reduced chance of living longer? And they basically called BS in a polite way on what I had to say. But here's the thing. The assumption that they were making, I'm going to tell you first off, yes, they do have a reduced they don't live as long. Tall people don't live as long. I'm gonna put that out there right now, and then I'll explain. But tall people are making the assumption that longevity is tied to weight to height ratio. It's not. It's not tied to weight to height ratio. What we understand from longevity is that the heart and the diminishing hormone levels your body has as we age have to maintain a certain amount of mass. The heart and the diminishing hormone levels don't care what form or shape that mass is in. It doesn't care if you're 250 pounds and 6'3" or 250 pounds and 5'2", like a bowling ball. It doesn't care. Your heart size is about the same regardless of how tall you are. It has to maintain the same amount of mass. And your hormones, your hormonal system, your diminishing hormones, human growth hormone, testosterone, and all that kind of crap that has to repair and revitalize and maintain cells, it doesn't care how tall you are. It has to maintain the same amount of mass. So the assumption that tall people are making is that longevity is tied to height to weight ratio. In fact, it's not. The research tells us, and you guys can check this out, I'm going to link this below in this article, a very extensive look at height and weight, and I'm not going to go into all the details. You're adults, you can read it yourself. We're going to regurgitate it. But the article, again, linked below, shows many different studies on many different populations, tall people versus normal people, tall people versus shorter people, and guess what? Tall people don't live as long in all of these studies. Tall people don't live as long. So what does this indicate to us? What does this hint? Scientifically, it hints at what I was just saying. The heart and your diminishing hormone levels don't care what form 240 pounds or 250 pounds comes in. It still has to maintain that mass. It still has to pump blood to those cells. It still has to maintain and upkeep those cells. So guess what, tall guys? If you're tall and big, tall and strong and fat, you have to work even harder to stay leaner for longevity, because as research, as science tells us, you're pretty much screwed as a tall guy to begin with. You're in a hole. You're going to live a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, years less than the shorter guy. So you really have to focus on health. That's not something I'm making up. That's what science is telling us. So it's extremely important for the tall guy that you try to remain a little bit more lean than the shorter guy. The tall guy, hey, you don't get a pass just because you're 6'2", 6'3", or 6'4". You don't automatically just get to balloon up to 260, 270, 280, or 290 and say, I'm tall. Hey, I'm tall. I got the tall card. I got the tall genetics. I get to be a little bit bigger. Guess what? You don't. You still pay the same price. Tall guys that are big and fat are going to have it even more difficult than the average size guy like me at 5'10". That's trying to stay at a normal weight. So That's the bottom line. That's what science tells us. I'm sorry to disappoint you tall people, but you're in an even bigger deficit, an even bigger hole. It's even more critical for you to maintain a normal, more regular weight than it is for shorter people. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you've made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.